Hello everyone, this is
Oh,
Author Live Chat with Kelli Suland. For the show, I'm just Veena from International Book Promotion, and today we are having Kelli Landon and also Aya Hasim. Hi Kelly.
hello.
Yeah, okay. Hello Aya.
Hi.
Okay, yeah. So before we move on, Kelly, can you please let us know about yourself briefly and also about the books that you have published before?
Okay, well, I published my first book in 2010 called Sudden Moves. Um, my new one, Stranded in Time, is my fourth book. I had Nightmare at Camp Forest Wood, and then I also had Summer Shack. They're all different. They're not. There's like no series or sequels or anything yet, but they're all four different books. And I also had a short story collection that I just did myself on Amazon. Um, I work for the U.S. Postal Service full time. Um, that's really about it. I mean, I self-published all my books, so that's
I see. That's great. That's great. So, yeah, coming back to your Stranded in Time, that's your latest novel, right? So,
yes.
how is the response from your readers so far?
So far, it's been good. It's been good. My book signing isn't until this Saturday, so a lot of people haven't bought it yet because they're waiting for the
Uh-huh.
book signing. You
I
know,
see. I
so
see. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So I think
I
after,
that's great. So, I know you like a book. It's a bookstore at Peoria
yeah,
Heights, right? So, how's their
yes.
support for local authors?
Oh, it's great there. The owner of the bookstore, she has book signings like every month. So there's a lot of local authors that have their book signings at that store. Um, so that's what's really nice is she's always able to give book signings for for local authors uh, who self-publish or have
That's awesome.
independent. Yeah.
I see. That's really great. So, okay, coming back to your Stranded in Time, you have mentioned before that the interior of the kindergarten and also the old neighborhood, it is something that's really personal for you. It's connected to your own childhood. So, tell us more about that. Tell us how actually the whole idea came up, and yeah,
Okay, well, last year I started tracing my own family tree. Um,
that's great.
I started doing that on the internet, and I traced my ancestors way back to like the 1700s. And I thought to myself that it would be neat to go back and see them and like see like what they wore and how they looked. And so I just got this idea that wouldn't it be neat to go back in time and see how they lived. So,
That's nice.
yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
started.
I see. So, about the hole in the wall, well, okay, this is something that I wanted to ask you. Was there really a hole in the wall?
No, well, when I was in kindergarten, I went to the school, and there was like if you were like in the bathroom, you could kind of hear what was going on in the gym because the gym was right behind it, so you could kind of hear a little bit. And as a kid, I was like, "What's that? What?" And I thought it was really neat. Well, then I heard it was just the gymnasium, so it really wasn't a big deal. But that's how that came an idea for me to put the time travel portal, through that wall. So
That wall.
yeah,
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
yeah.
So, yeah. So, the audiobook, you've just published the audiobook, right, for Stranded in Time. So, tell us a little bit more about the process of publishing an audiobook and how was it? How do you find it actually?
Well, let's see. The audio company was kind of linked with Amazon. So all I had to do was send them my Amazon link to the book, and I had to send them like maybe a page or two of text, and
Mm-hmm.
then they tried all these different. Well, they asked me what type of speaker I wanted. You know, if they had an accent or the age. So I had a little form to fill out, and then they sent me like one person to read the one page of text
Mm-hmm.
that I sent them. They had a person read that, and then they asked me if that was good, if the voice was good, and I said yes. But if I said no, they would send me someone else.
Yes.
So I said yes, and she started reading it, and then she would send me one chapter at a time. Like she would read a chapter and send it to me, and then I would listen to it, and it was really easy. It was really easy, and it only took like a month to have it complete. So
How's the price? How do you find that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
How is the pricing for an audiobook?
Oh,
How do you get about doing that?
well, you negotiate a price with the reader, and you can either
Okay.
pay them by the hour, or
Mm-hmm.
they can take part of the royalties. So you
I
have your
see.
choice. So if they take
Yes,
part of the royalties, you don't have to pay anything. So
great.
yeah,
All right. So, are you planning to have audiobooks for the rest of your books?
probably not. I don't think so. I don't think I will. I haven't decided yet, but I don't think so. I think this is probably the best one to have in audio, I think,
See.
for the voice.
In terms of audiobook, in terms of suitability, what do you think about what kind of books actually need audiobook? Or what's your opinion on that?
Well, oh gosh, that's tough. It would probably have to be a book that you think that you think people would like, or that people would buy. I also like that it
Mhm.
has different characters, so because the reader does the different voices. So she does like the
I see.
the old man, and the young girl and the old lady, and she does all
Yes.
these different voices, and I think that is important because that kind of makes it. And I also think it should be a book with a lot of dialogue. I think that
Uh,
makes it more exciting.
That's great. So
Yeah.
we have Aya here with us. So Aya's actually read two of your
Yes.
books, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Aya?
Yeah, two books.
Yes. So tell us how's the experience? How do you find Kelly's book, and can you share your experience reading her book with us?
Yeah. Before, I always wanted to read mystery books, but whenever I started reading, I get lost between the characters. There's always a lot of characters, a lot of names, a lot of characteristics, and I always get lost. And then one day I won an ebook to one of Kelly's book, A Nightmare at Forest Wood
Yes.
Camp. Yes. And I really enjoyed it. It was really good. She gives you time to uh, know about all the characters, and then she dives into the mystery. It was really enjoyable, and I even loved more Stranded in Time. I love that it took time in the 70s.
I see. So how long did you take to read the books? Like, yeah, both of them.
Well, if I'm free, it takes me 2 to 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
But when I received both books, I was on a holiday, so I didn't have actually time to read. So whenever I had time, I'd read as much because there's always so much going on. And a
I
good book,
see.
and if it's really interesting, you want to finish, you want to know what happens next. And that's how I felt when I read these books.
So congratulations to Kelly for that.
Yeah.
So Aya, what's your favorite scene or probably your favorite character? What was the interesting part of Stranded in Time, probably?
First, I loved how she goes back in time
Mm-hmm.
because I always admired the theme of time travel.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite character has to be Susanna. She's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting, and how she took Samantha and helped her. And I love how she described old telephones and the ice cream truck. It's very all interesting because I remember my grandma had such a telephone and I used to play with it. So it was really nice to see these sceneries in the book.
That's nice. That's nice. So okay, coming to your sequel of Stranded in Time.
Oh,
So you
I didn't
suddenly
know
tend to like
that.
have this idea. Yeah, Kelly, you suddenly tend to have this idea of coming up with a sequel for Stranded in Time. So probably you have something to share with us about that. I think it's going to be based on the 80s, right?
yes, I got this idea. It just, I don't know why. I was just thinking, at the end of this book, it's, oh gosh, I think it's 2019,
Uh-huh.
and so the sequel would have to take place in the future. So it would have to be after
Oh.
that, like, yeah, like 2020, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one character in the book named Troy, uh, who I had this idea for the sequel where Troy, now in 2020, 2021, um, kind of, I guess, runs into Samantha and recognizes her, knows who she
Mm-hmm.
is, and also runs, well, somehow they run into each other. I haven't figured it out yet, but he recognizes her and knows who she is, and he's an old man now. He's like in his 60s. So, and he knows
That's
something.
really.
Yeah. But my only problem is I have to have a reason for her to go back to the school and go,
Mhm.
and I haven't figured that part out yet. But I thought if she went back to the school, like if she was running from something and knew how to go back, and if she went through that wall again, it would be 1983 or 1984. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all I've got so far. I've
I
got
see.
a couple scenes I wrote where he
Uh-huh.
finds her and recognizes her, and so I just haven't, I haven't even, I think I've written two real small scenes so far.
I see.
So,
I see. That's great. So, how long do you think it will take? Probably to put everything together and have it out.
oh man, I don't know. I would like to have it by, I would like to have it probably by the end of the year, but I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. This is gonna be a tough one, I think. I'd like
I
to
see.
have it done by fall or winter, but I'm not sure because I'm working on a sequel to Summer Shack as well, and
Oh, I see.
yeah,
That's interesting.
I actually have that written. I'm just kind of going through and making sure it's all the way I want it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm about finished with that, and then maybe I can concentrate on the sequel to Stranded in Time after that's done.
That's great. That's great. So, if you remember, we were having a book trailer release event on Facebook, and there were a few people asking you questions. So, we're gonna ask you their question on their behalf.
Okay.
So, the first question from Tanya Oles: where do you get your characters from? Are they like the people you know, or do you try to make all them up in your head? Huh?
Well, most of my characters do come from actual people I know. Um, the things they say, the dialogue, um, I'll like maybe describe how they look or how they act. So a lot of them do come from people I know, and I take a lot of personalities from real people, but I change their names. So
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah.
So, the next question is from Laurie Smith, and she asks, "How long does it take to publish a book? Like, from the time that you got you get the idea for it, and until you publish a book."
Okay. Well, in the past, it's taken me probably, I would say, maybe 3 months total.
All right.
3 to
Wow,
4 months.
that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fun.
once I
So from
start,
the time.
yeah. Yeah, once I start, I kind of keep going and try to keep it going, and so then I can get it. I got to kind of keep it in my head at all, all the time.
I see.
So
So that's fun. That's pretty fast. 3 months.
yeah, it
Wow.
is. It is. Yeah.
Okay. But I think most of your books are like, what's the most number of pages that you have written before?
Well, that would probably be Summer Shack, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just over 200 pages. I think it might be like
Okay.
220, maybe. I think. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's the longest one I've written, I think.
Okay. That's probably helping you with the fast process. Do you think that helps you?
Yes, yes, it does. I mean,
Uh,
it keeps the story going, and I don't like, as a reader, I don't like really long books. So I think when I write,
uh-huh.
I like the story to keep moving, and not like drag out. And I think
Uh,
that's why I write books that I really don't want them to be too long, so.
Okay, so the next question is from Francie Martin, and he asks, "How is this book different from the other books that you have written before? Stranded in Time. How is Stranded in Time different from the other books?"
Okay. Okay, it's different. It's the first book I've ever written in third person narration. All my other books were written in first person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's one thing. And of course, it's a mystery, but it's not really a scary. It's kind of different because it's not a real scary, murdering book.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mystery, but it's more
It
like
doesn't
fantasy.
have, yeah,
More like the
it
time
doesn't have
travel.
anything murder, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah. But it's the time travel, which makes it kind of more fantasy. Um, so I guess that's another reason why it's different than all my other books. Plus, I took a part of my childhood also
Mm-hmm.
uh, for the flashback to the 70s. So that's another reason.
I see that's nice. So, how was the reaction or support from your family, from your mother, from everyone else? How is it for Stranded? Because I remember you saying that your mom complimented you on this book. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about that.
She is, every time I give her one of my books, she'll read it and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was pretty good." Well, then when she read this one, she was like, "This is your best one. I can't believe you wrote this. What made you think of this?" So that really made me feel good because she's like one of my worst critics, I guess. But yeah,
I think family members are one of our greatest critics. So
yeah,
that's really nice to hear.
yeah.
So yeah. So coming back to you, so you have read Stranded in Time, and also Nightmare at Camp Forest Wood. So do you think you have any questions for Kelly? Like you want to ask something about the characters or the plot, or yeah, something like that. Do you? Yeah.
Yeah. Instead in time, I just kept thinking at the end, like if there could be an extra chapter, would Samantha go and search for Dean? Because it kind of ended in a point. She disappeared. They
Mhm.
probably wonder where she went. So I kept on thinking, will she go back and search for them, or what would happen? If you have any idea about it.
Oh, I don't know yet. That's what I thought of when I was thinking of the sequel. But yeah, when I thought of the sequel, I thought that. I thought if she went back and saw him again, what would happen? But I have
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet on that. I don't know yet. I'd like to write that though. That would be part of the sequel. So,
Oh, great.
yeah.
So probably you have to wait for the sequel to be out.
Yes, if I can get it written, I hope.
I see.
I hope
So
so.
Okay.
So yeah, your book signing event. I think that that's something that we would want to focus here because it's going to happen on the 9th of August, right?
Yes.
So tell us a bit more about that. Like how do people how can they get there? So and things like that. What time is it going to be on?
Okay. It starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and it goes until 4. It's on Prospect. It's in the middle of Prospect where all the shops are. So it's across from Leaves and Beans, which is a coffee shop, and it's really easy to find. All people have to look for is the red awning on the outside of the bookstore, and that red awning stands out. So once you see that, it's on the left, and that's where it is. But it's from 2 to 4. Really, you just come in. I'm going to have the book, of course, and the paperback, and then I've got a few hardbacks copies, and then I'm going to have like promotional items, magnets, bookmarks, stuff like that to give away. And there's also, this is kind of funny, but there's also a part in Stranded in Time. I think it's at Thanksgiving where they have I describe what they eat, so I'm going to probably, I ran off some recipes too to give out to people. Recipes of some of the stuff they ate in the book. So, yeah, just for something different. But, yeah.
So, how's the support from the local people? Like, actually advertise or market about your book signing event? Like, yeah, how is the bookshop? How's the bookshop actually helping you? And how are you using yourself to put the word out there?
Well, one thing they're doing is I dropped off some of my bookmarks, and they're giving out the bookmarks to customers so they know about it. And then she puts a sign up that says that this book signing's coming up, and then she sends out a newsletter to people on the mailing list. And they also have a Facebook page, so she announces it on their Facebook page too. And of course, I use Facebook and Twitter and all the different social networks to advertise. And I even sent actual invites, postcards out in the mail to people to announce it too. So
That's great. That's great. So, so are your family members or friends? How are they actually helping you out in terms of marketing, in terms of letting the others know about you, your book, and all event? Like, how's it going on with the support from people that you know?
Well, I think it's neat because a lot of them are inviting like their friends. Like I have a couple people who are going to bring a friend with them so they can get the book too. So that's something, but really that's mainly really it. I mean, besides, word of mouth and inviting other people. Because the bookstore has an area for drinks, so you can buy, soda or wine or, stuff like that. And it's like it's almost like a little living room or a cafe where you can just sit and talk and chit chat. So it's it's a nice little bookstore. So
that sounds really great. That's really nice. So I believe it's going to be really good. It's on Saturday, right? This Saturday.
Yes.
9th August from 2 to 4 at Peoria Heights. I know you like the book, so. Yes. If you are there, if you're going to be at Peoria Heights, so please make sure that you're going to drop by Kelly's event at I know you like a book 2 to 4. So yeah, so before we end our show for today, anything else you would like to tell your fans out there, Kelly?
Well, I do want to say one thing more about the book signing. I am going to have some copies of my other books there. I have a lot of copies of Nightmare at Camp Forestwood left over from another book signing, so I'm also going to have those there too as well. And the paperbacks are going to be $10 a piece. So I just wanted to say that. But I don't think I have much anything else to say except, like I said, the sequel to Summer Shack is almost done.
Mm-hmm.
And then hoping for the sequel to Stranded in Time. If I do the sequel, the title's going to be Memories in Time. That's going to be the name of it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Memories in time.
Yes.
So, yeah. So,
I don't know.
so you have anything else to... Yeah, Kelly, yes.
Oh, I was just
You were
going to
saying
say, I don't know
something?
if it's going to be as suspenseful or as exciting as the first one. It's kind of hard to make a second book as good as the
I
first
see.
one, you know?
I
So that's,
see.
yeah.
Probably some time to figure all that out. Yeah. So, Aya, so you have anything else to tell Kelly? Or, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is I read the books so long ago I can't remember. But
Oh,
in the two books, there was the same name. You used the same name in the two books.
Uh-huh.
There was a character, but I can't remember the name. So does the
I
name
know.
mean something for you that you use it twice in your books?
Yeah. I do that by accident. I don't realize I do that until after I've already done it. I'm like, oh no, I used that name already. Yeah.
I thought it like that name meant something to you. Like,
Well, I don't know. It just I don't know. Maybe because I wrote one book already and the name is still in my head, so
yeah.
so I use it again. Yeah. So I have done that. I've done that before.
All right. That's fantastic. So, we are to the end of our show. So, I would like to thank Aya for coming on screen. So, it has been a great pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank
And
you.
also, thank you very much, Kelly, for joining us today. It's a pleasure for us to actually have you on our show. I believe it's going to be really great and fantastic for your book signing event on 9th August, which is about like 2 days more from now.
Yes.
So I wish you all the
Yes.
best for the book signing event, and let's just help you put out the word out there. So I hope people watching this Google Plus Hangout will actually come to know about your book signing event. And we are looking forward to hearing more from you about the book signing event, probably after it's over. So do keep us updated about it.
Oh, I will. I will.
So thank you so much for joining our show today. Thanks a lot. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Aya. Bye-bye.
bye.